You want me to do what? Are you crazy? Well, good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. Out here this morning. Took my glasses off. A little cloudy. A little cloudy. Thought I'd get some of this morning sun in my face and enjoy a cool morning after the heat we've had. It's gorgeous out here. I love coming out and getting a little morning sun. I want to suggest something to you today. And what I'm going to suggest is going to elicit a response from you. Basically, you want me to do what? Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind, Mitch? I could never do that. I could never do that. What would be the meaning of life if I were to do what you're suggesting? It's a thought so horrible and foreign to us that it becomes something unimaginable, for God's sakes. What the hell is it you're talking about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. And in the context of the fact that we have pretty much determined that we're all addicts. Before I started carnivore, it occurred to me that the strongest trigger, the thing that triggered my addiction more than anything else, was anything that tasted sweet. Everything tastes sweet. The sweeter, the better. Stuff's made that way. It's more addictive when it tastes sweet. Could I give up anything that had a sweet taste? There's no way. You mean I have to live the rest of my life never, ever tasting anything sweet again? Not even if it's artificial sweeteners? Are you telling me, Mitch, that sweet taste is what's causing me all my problems and my inability to stick to any diet, any lifestyle that I try? It sounds absurd. And yet, and it took me a while, it wasn't until I made that commitment, and I have, to never, ever put anything that has a sweet taste in my mouth again for the rest of my life, that I fixed my addiction and my problems. And in looking back, even though I had made this commitment, I still hung on for a while. I still allowed myself a little bit of flavored electrolyte mix with some stevia in it. And even just that little bit of slightly sweet stuff every day held me back from finally getting over that hump of losing the desire once and for all for anything sweet. It happened. And it finally happened, and I finally got over it when I started mixing my own electrolytes to get away from not only the high cost of those, but the flavorings and the sweeteners that they would put in them. And that was about 6 months ago. And in looking back, hard as it is to believe, I can honestly say to you that in the past 6 months, I have lived that unimaginable life that you're having a hard time comprehending. Nothing sweet. Nothing sweet. It worked. It worked. Not only am I living a life never eating anything that tastes sweet, but the thought of sweet tasting things don't appeal to me anymore. Everything has changed. Now, it worked for me. If you're not having a problem, if you're not that much of an addict, if you're not triggered by a mildly sweet tasting thing, if you're able to stay on a mostly carnivore diet, lose weight, get healthy, not be triggered, not have cravings all the time, not being tortured by this, then this might be a little radical for you. But I think more and more of us these days are actually admitting to ourselves that we can't give this stuff up. And I posit to you that the sweet taste is the strongest trigger. I don't imagine everybody's going to jump on this bandwagon. You could give it a shot. You could see what happens. You could allow yourself a mental escape route, saying, well, if I can't stand it, I'll just start eating sweet tasting things again. But it's that commitment and that understanding that you're giving up something for life, much like any other addict. When an alcoholic goes into recovery, he has to accept the fact, or she, that that's it. Alcohol will never cross their lips again. Same thing with drug addicts. That, unfortunately, is what we have to do with anything that tastes sweet to finally cure it once and for all, and it will cure it. And I gotta tell you, life is just as good, if not better, without that stuff. There's some food for thought. Consider it. Let's talk about it some more another day. And with that, I'm going to continue to enjoy this sun. Let's all take the rest of the day off and eat meat.